You are listening to the VCast.
Oh shit, here we go. Back for another one. It's the VCast, Vic Cedeno. I'm here with Mr. Bryan Villone. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
I am chilling, my man. I got this fucking super large cold brew, cold foam coffee because I'm just running on fumes.
This man's going to be hyped. It's going to be a high energy podcast.
I don't know. I try to be high energy sometimes, and anytime I bomb, it's because I try to like match somebody's energy that was before me, and they have like a lot of energy. Like I'm very monotone.
Yeah.
I'm very like a steady vibe, and if I try to get like, I don't know. I'm never, and the funny thing is I'm hyper as fuck too.
Yeah.
Like my whole life, I've been a hyper kid.
Maybe it's because like you're a big, intimidating dude, you know, and you start getting loud and people get nervous.
That's true too. That's true. I use that to my advantage, and that's why I'm not silly.
Okay.
Like I'm a silly person,
Yeah.
but I'm not silly because I'm always trying to act like stoic and like serious.
I'm very similar, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like I have to keep this facade up of like being cool and being, serious and smooth and shit.
Yeah.
Like it's so built into my persona that I'm actively aware that I'm doing it and still can't change course.
You got to rewire your DNA, man. It's impossible.
Right?
I feel like I can do it with certain people. Certain people
Once
will
you
get
let
that
the guard
side of
down,
me.
yes.
Yeah.
People close to me, like my family and stuff, I get real silly,
Yeah.
and the jokes come out faster. And I'm like, if I can take that person and put them on stage, if
Yeah.
I can get to tap into that, that's my true voice. That's the voice I'm looking for. And it's weird because I always hear comics talk about the voice, like when they're finding their voice. And most of the time, they don't know what the voice is. Like I know what the voice is, but I don't know how to get there. I don't know how to be there. I don't know how to be there.
Yeah, it's like translating it from your personal life where you're most comfortable and bringing that person on stage, which is, I guess that's like the entire journey of comedy,
Yeah.
you know?
It's a shitty journey. But it's like I know where that person exists. And like a lot of times I get some of my bits from that point. Like if I do something, like if I'm there and I do something and then I like write it down and then I bring it to an open mic, I don't have the same energy.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, I thought that was so much funnier.
Yeah. I guess because, you know, you're in a room full of people that don't know that side of you.
Yeah.
And well, at least me, like I'm factoring in the way I look and how people are perceiving me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just get in my head too much. I'm still trying to work on the perfect opening joke where it lets them know who I am and be hilarious at the same exact time.
Yeah, to take that down, to try to attempt to take that facade down. That's why, like, I'll do the same thing with self-deprecating humor. Like, I try to come out with a joke snapping on myself. Like, please don't take me too seriously. Like,
yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, like, I don't want it to be sad either. You know?
Yeah, well,
sometimes...
for sure. Yes, because you let a little bit too much out of the inside. But I think if any man that's done anything with his life has an abundance of sadness in him. You know what I mean? Because you have to go through so much.
Yeah.
Right? I guess that's probably the same as for everybody. Everybody's got fucking sadness in them. That's why it's bullshit when people say, I want to be happy. It's like, yeah, but you're only going to be happy for a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
Happiness is fleeting.
Yeah.
But so is sadness.
So
right?
is
it's
sadness.
Just can you be content? I feel like content,
Yes.
You can be consistent.
You need purpose.
Yeah.
You need like a reason to, when you're really like, those times when you're like in really dark place, right? Because I go dark sometimes. And when I go dark, this was me and Mike Romanelli were talking about this on the last podcast. It's like when I go dark, I go antisocial. I don't show up anymore. I don't reach out. I don't talk to people anymore.
Yeah.
I go radio dark. So, like, I don't even know the fucking point that I was trying to make because I just got so sad. All of a sudden, it's like,
The darkness is
the
coming
darkness
out.
starts washing over. But I feel like I don't know what we were talking about at all. Like it's just gone. Like it just went in my head. We were like, well, I was talking about in the last podcast we were talking about, having no purpose, right?
Yeah.
You have no purpose and you go dark, or I go dark, and then I like lose track of all purpose. Everything becomes like a pity party.
Yeah, and you lose motivation. Like sometimes it happens with comedy with me a lot. Where I'm like, yeah, I can go and do this show, and if it goes well, it's gonna feel good. But who cares? So what? What? I don't care. You know.
I know. I feel like so surface level sometimes with the things that I put value on versus the things that like actually matter. I feel like I switch back and forth. Like sometimes my feelings, like when you were saying, like I don't want to go, like I'll ditch like a normal responsibility, right, for like a surface level of motion, like something like eating something that'll make me feel better, or sitting and watching TV. Like those are surface level feelings where they just give you like a little instant touch.
Yeah, a little boost of dopamine for temporarily.
Yeah, but the stuff that matters, the stuff that of being responsible, even if it's going to work, like I'm pretty good at that, but going to work or going to work out, or if you have a craft or something like a hobby and something that you're into, you skip doing that. Like those are all the stuff that are deep level.
Yeah.
Like they operate deep in your life.
Yeah, and that's where the long-term contentment's going to come from when you do devote time to that stuff.
Yeah, because you're like building up.
Yeah, but it's easy to fall off track when it's so fucking debilitating sometimes.
Oh my god, dude! I feel like for the same reasons we were talking about before of like being stoic and being too cool or stuff like that, like people don't ever really acknowledge
that we're doing that.
Yeah, that you even have feelings, like almost 95% of the time, even higher, is anytime somebody asks me, how are you? They don't really get it. I'm like, I'm good. I'm all right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think about that, but no one really wants a real answer in those situations, unless like they're specifically reaching out to you, like, hey man, just like checking in, how's everything, as opposed to like seeing someone at a mic or a show,
not like that. I mean, like most of those encounters, like somebody, especially like if you're in it, if you're in the middle of like feeling, and this is where I think I retract to being antisocial, is because you don't want people to ask you how are you, and you have to like acknowledge your own feelings. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's like, "Oh, how are you?" Like the first thing I know I'm gonna say is I'm all right, or I'm doing good. How are you? Like you turn it around again, right? But I'm also in my mind like I'm not okay. Like, I'm not okay. I wish I could tell you how I feel.
And like, what's the point? Like, I don't know. I don't even feel like explaining sometimes because, I think about how people are going to respond, and I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Yeah, I don't want to hear you're going to say something. You may say something really nice, and I don't care.
Yeah, not when I'm feeling like
or
this.
Or you're going to try to give me a solution, and I don't want that either.
No.
So I'm feeling good.
Yeah, people always say like you're, and I've experienced this where you talk to people about your problems and or you listen to other people's problems. Like when you listen to somebody else talk about their problems, like you kind of help yourself, right? Like
Yeah.
you get like a selfish feeling, like you're like, oh, I'm not the only person that's miserable. That's cool. And then also like the advice you're thinking of giving them, then you start being like, well, how can this apply? This applies to me too.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
I never
you're
considered
like,
that.
oh shit, this applies to me too. But that's listening to other people's problems. For me, and I tried to do a bit about this before. It's like still floating in the developmental stages. But I feel like anytime you tell people about your problems, you lose respect. Right? Like that person now respects you less a little bit. Their feelings about you aren't the same. Even if it's not.
And even if they don't acknowledge it.
That's
even
what I
if
mean,
their
yeah.
response is like, that's just cool.
Yes,
But just deep down there,
Deep
just
down
that
they're like,
primal level,
yes.
you know, and even sometimes
I
like,
can't believe you're complaining about this. Yeah, like, you know, like
yeah,
somewhere in there's that.
you know, because like my parents, or my mom at least, when I was growing up, they would talk so much shit about people behind their back, so that I automatically like just assume everyone's doing that, you know? So to your point, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, or even when it happens, like if you're talking to a girl or something like that, and you do something that may seem like not stereotypically masculine and they act like they like it, I still feel like deep down they lose a little respect for you.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
And that's why you go to therapy, because you're paying this person to still respect you. Like it's you're paying this person to not have an opinion about you.
Yeah. Which can they even turn
know?
that off?
No,
No.
100%. You go to school for that, like you're still judging people. Like did you watch The Sopranos, right?
I watched like the first 2 seasons.
Well, I don't know if that covered when Tony went into therapy. Yeah, no, because
He was in therapy, yeah.
Well, the way she would talk to her doctor,
Okay.
right? And like the way they would talk, and they were colleagues, and she was going to therapy for, you know, with him.
Yeah.
That was her therapy session, but the way she was letting out and the judgmental way she felt about Tony, you know what I mean? And then he was like judgmental about Tony and her, you know? So it's like, yeah, you're a professional judgmental person.
Yeah. You
know?
can't turn that off.
No, I don't think you can, but you're paid to keep it confidential.
Yes. That's
You
the
can't
most
really
important.
you can't go gossiping about all that shit I
Please
just told
don't
you, bro.
divulge my personal
Yeah.
information.
You can't. Therapists can't have podcasts, right? You can't have podcasts.
They can make
and-
up names, I guess,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, you can have a podcast. You just can't talk about your. I guess you can
That
talk
would
about
be-
it if you're anonymous.
That would be an interesting podcast where a therapist talks about all his patients'
Their
problems.
clients, but
just
anonymously?
That'd be
Yeah.
nuts.
Oh my god, there's got to be somebody that's done that already.
Yeah.
And
And
it just called fucking
they just
on the
spills
couch with-
everyone's secrets.
on the couch with Dr. Phil, like right? Yeah, I guess that is Dr. Phil's whole fucking platform
shit, right?
is being a therapist and doing that shit on open.
Yeah.
And then you got fucking Bad Barbie coming out of that shit, right? Is that her, Bad Bobby? Bad Bobby.
Something like that. Bad
Bad
baby.
Bobby, some shit like
We
that.
sound
Oh
old
my
as fuck,
God,
man.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even want to know.
She's fucking raking it up.
Yeah.
How do you go from you're on Dr. Phil, like daytime television, you're talking shit, the whole crowd's booing you and hates you, and you go from there to be having a multi-million-dollar empire?
It's because the internet, man. It's because like things that shouldn't be popular wind up being popular because people start to like it, whether it be like ironically,
Yeah.
or just making fun of it. You know, it probably got millions of views just for people making fun of it and shitting on it, and that is the that's the most important factor. The amount of views. It doesn't matter what the content is.
Yeah. Well, I guess
know?
people like heels,
Hey, they like heels too.
you know?
Yeah.
People like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like Tony Montana fucked that up for everybody. People like the bad guy now. It's like, what are you going to do?
She was just an annoying teenager. I don't, you know?
Yeah, she had no respect for her mother. None at all. But you look at that situation and you're like, then you look at the mother and you're like, I don't blame her for not having any respect for you. Like, you're not
Yeah.
a respectable person.
I don't remember. Like, I never like watched the full segment.
Oh, no.
So-
her mom was a fucking disaster, too.
Yeah?
Like, her mom had the attitude, too. Like,
The same
the
shit?
the confrontational. She didn't have
Yeah.
the hood twang to
Just
her.
the confrontational
She just had
aspect
that
of it.
confrontational attitude, and they're like fighting with each other. But you can tell, I don't know, like people carry themselves in a way where you feel like this person doesn't have a lot of self-respect, you know, like or respect for others.
Yeah.
You know, and then you see how people interact, and you're like, oh, and then your kids see not only what you like, they don't only go off of what you tell them, they also observe how you act in fucking real life. And if you're an asshole in real life, they think it's okay to be an asshole.
Because they're like, oh, this is how you're supposed to do it.
Yep.
Like,
and all those things like empathy and compassion for other people, like those are all little cues. Like a kid can be born with it and just have it. Like my daughter's like super empathetic, and that's her natural character. But she also like a lot of the times I'm talking in my car, in the car, like I talk out loud in traffic when people cut, like I'm just actively talking shit. And then she hears me sometimes when like today somebody cut me off and I was like, go ahead, neighbor. It's okay, neighbor. Like, and she's like, Daddy, are you being sarcastic? Like,
oh, she's picking up on
just,
it.
Yeah, she's like, are you being sarcastic? I was like, no, I actually meant it this time. You know, go ahead, neighbor. I was talking to myself out of being like a dick and be like, it's okay to go in front of me. No problem. Go ahead, neighbor. You know, like, and she's like, are you being sarcastic? And I was like, no, I meant that one. But she knows that sometimes I talk shit.
Yeah, she knows how you know, kids are the biggest sponges, like they say, man. They're going to pick up everything you do.
Yeah,
you know,
they talk so much shit.
Yeah, my boy was telling me about how his little niece started like mimicking him and his movements and stuff. And he's like, I've never felt more self-conscious in my life after seeing that.
Yeah, it makes you think about it. Like it makes you think. And people always talk about like terrible twos and shit. And yeah, it's rough because they're growing out of control. They might cry a lot and they do shit, but you put them in a little pen and they don't go anywhere. And they don't talk to you and let you know about yourself. You know what I mean? Like when my daughter started talking, she really let me know about myself. Like I had to like now think about who I was as a person, who I'm presenting to her, because she's like picking up on stuff. And I'm like, oh no. Oh man. Just like the behavior that she has, the sarcasm,
yeah, she's you.
The making things out like everything's a fucking joke. You know, like she's getting in trouble in school, and I now she's turned it around because took the iPad away for a couple weeks, and that sunk in, and now she doesn't want to lose that shit again. So she's been on her best behavior, but she's not bad. She's just like me, where she has to be the center of attention. And she wants to talk and everybody listen to her, or she's bored because she's smart and she gets the lessons right away, and then she's bored and wants to just bullshit now, and like she wants to talk to her friends and she wants to clown and tell jokes and stuff, and the teacher's like, hey, shut up. I'm trying to teach this class, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to tell her, like, listen, you're gonna get in trouble. I don't care. Because that's you as a person. I wish somebody told me this growing up. It's like that's you as a person. That's fine. Just when you get in trouble, you know, relax, and also don't be a dick about it. Yeah. Right? Don't have an attitude about being wrong.
That's a great way to look at it.
You know what I mean? Like, because that's going to be your life forever. I just want you to understand this. You're like me. You're never going to be able to sit still. You're always going to talk, and that's okay because that's who you are as a person, and that's good. You're a good person, you know, but don't have an attitude, because then people aren't going to like you, and then they're going to be out for you. Yeah. And you know, that used to be my biggest problem with a lot of teachers, is that I would act like an asshole and then be an asshole afterwards with an attitude, and then they wouldn't like me. Yeah. And they'd try to get me every chance they could. You know what I mean? Like,
but yeah, if you're gonna be an asshole, like acknowledge that you're being an asshole. Right? Acknowledge why this might be a problem.
Yes. You're being silly. I'm sorry. No problem. And then you go ahead and you'll see that it'll be okay.
Yeah. People love when you just own up to your mistakes. You know,
bro, it's so refreshing.
It is, because you know what, I fucked up.
Yes,
you know?
Because nobody does that. Like I go through my entire day at work. I work like in an office, and people are doing two things. They're constantly deflecting from the situation, but they're also responding to a behavior that I don't know. Like, I'm not used to this so much in other places I work, but like they want to blame you for what happened. Like, somebody has to have been at fault. And it's like, yeah, all right, there was fault, but let's figure that out after we've solved the problem.
Yeah, what does it matter?
Why are you copying 10 people in this email right now? Like, it's not that serious.
Yeah, people. Yeah, 100%. And I work with customers a lot. I'm customer facing, and you're not allowed to be like, "Yo, this was clearly your fault." You know, you fucked up.
Yeah.
You just have to be like, "Oh, all right, we'll figure it out." You know?
Sir, the phone is still wet. Why do you say you didn't drop it in the pool? It's still wet. What are you talking? Like it's dripping right here.
Yeah, man.
It's sweating.
Those cell phone days. Yeah, that was. Did you ever work in a cell phone store?
No. My only mall job was Old Navy.
Okay.
I worked at Old Navy in the Garden State Plaza.
Okay.
In the denim section.
In the denim section.
The fucking
big section.
denim dude.
Yeah, I worked at Verizon Wireless, like a third-party authorized retailer,
Oof.
like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
For a while actually, and I'm a lot better now. But I just hated my job, and I didn't care about customer service. I was such a dickhead to so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got some dude came in, his phone wasn't working. He started yelling, and I was like, gave him attitude back instead of trying to fix it. And he's like, I want you to apologize. And I was like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. The dude's face went blank. He fucking smashed the phone.
Oh my God.
But I mean, I could have de-escalated. I know how to de-escalate now, but at the time, you know, you just, when you're young, you don't give a fuck. Especially if you hate your job.
Plus, it's just a tense situation. Like
Yeah.
that, people like get into teams, right? And when you're an employee somewhere, your team, like company, like I work here, and then everybody else that doesn't work here, like you're not on my team. I'm going to treat you like you're on the other team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like such a weird mentality. And I've felt like that in I've worked as a bouncer. I've worked as a host of a mail review. I've worked in fucking call center in the 60th floor of Empire State Building. And it's always teams. Right, like it was team bouncers versus everybody at the club. It's team, it's team, dancers and hosts versus team sluts. Like like everybody picks a team, and that person is your and it doesn't have to be antagonistic, but there's like just that underlying thing. Like if you talk to me, I'm approaching you as you're trying to win against me. There's no score here, but you can't beat me at whatever we're doing here. Whatever we're talking about, I need to be the victor in this situation.
And that was me very early on, a lot in my customer service jobs. Yeah. Like there was another time store usually closes at 7. I always left like 5-10 minutes early, right? So I'm walking out at 6:50. Guy comes up, he's like, oh, I just want to return my phone. And I was like, I got somewhere to be, man. He's like, you close in 10 minutes. I was like, yeah, but I gotta go.
Yeah, but I already shut the door, bro.
Yeah, so just little things like that I wouldn't do now, just as someone who's been in customer service for a long time. But at the same time, go fuck yourself.
I know. But you also don't have like the same mindset. Like you're not thinking about the bigger picture, or you don't have any loyalty to the job that you have. You don't have any concept.
It was also a shit job with shit pay, and
that never helps either.
Exactly. So why am I going to care?
Yeah, especially when you're doing those jobs when you're young. Oh my God, so many jobs I had. I used to have a job. One of my first jobs was putting flyers on cars at like the parking lot.
You just threw the flyers in the trash.
I did it once. And I didn't like the way it made me feel.
Okay,
because the guy was really nice to me.
Yeah,
right. And he used to give me pizza and stuff and talk to me, and like he would laugh. And he wasn't a dick. He paid me my money. I never had to chase after him. And it was fucking 14 years old, and I'm riding a bike, putting these flyers on the supermarkets in town in the parking lot. But one day, my brother's telling me the same thing. He's like, you could just throw those in the car. Like, he's never going to know. And I was like, really? Oh, shit, you're right. So I went and I threw them in the garbage. And then I drove around on my bike because I couldn't go right back. And then, like, I didn't have anything to do. And then, like, I waited like an hour I went down to like the park. I was riding my bike around. I went back after an hour, and I remember going to talk to him, and had this fucking like dark energy over me. Like I was like a fucking bad person. Like I'm scamming this guy. Like he's sitting there trying to be, hey, you hungry? You want to eat something? How was it? And I was like, oh, it was all right. And then the next day I was like, I can't never do this again. Like I fucking left there. I was like, I can't. I'm not like a person that tries to get over on other people. You know what I mean? Like I've never been like anytime I've ever stolen shit from people, I used to steal shit from stores. That I never really felt too guilty about. But stealing from like friends,
someone else, a person,
and shit, or people and stuff, like I always felt like, damn, that's fucked up. How they're gonna feel when their shit's missing? You know, like it would happen to me too. Like my friends would steal my baseball cards and shit. And I'd be like, fuck, man, I know I had that fucking baseball card. Like,
yeah, it's not a good feeling, man. It's not a good feeling, and that's what kind of keeps us in check. You know, for the most part, because I guess there's people that just don't have that.
No, man, they just have no concept of compassion and empathy for other people. Like I think I'm probably over empathetic, which is a quality I see in my daughter, which I really respect. And also another quality about myself I suppress to be cool and to be tough guy is I'm very empathetic. I'm constantly thinking about how the things I do affect everybody around me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like like if I go outside to smoke weed, I'm conscious of. I'm like it makes me feel like I don't want
blowing smoke in someone's face or something like that.
Exactly. Like I'm constantly thinking about how the things I'm doing is going to affect somebody else, or if something happens to someone, like I've really like feel for them. Yeah. But other people, they just could be oblivious to you dying. They just walk right over you, and they'd be like, "No,
like I got something to do this day."
Yeah, they don't care about fucking feelings.
Yeah,
fucking running low on caffeine.
Gotta re-up.
Oh my god, I'm fucking beat, bro. Saturday we did the Fight Companion here, and I got a little pill, which was I thought it was I knew it was psilocybin. But it was like pharmaceutical, like mushrooms, like pharmaceutical, but in a pill form.
Got it.
And it's such a small little pill, and I fucking took it, and I'm a big guy. I usually have high tolerance towards things. And we watched the Fight Companion, and we were set up here to talk and watch the fights and shit. And I got everything set up, and I just couldn't talk. Like I couldn't believe that I was getting so fucked up. I couldn't believe that. And I ended up being here till like 3:30 in the morning. I think we left here like almost 3:45. Okay. And we were just laughing and bullshitting.
And you were just quiet the entire time?
No, I ended up most of the podcast. I was like, I just couldn't talk. I couldn't form sentences. I'd be like, say something, and then be like, oh, I can't talk anymore. Like, it was just it was so fucking awkward. But it was just so late. And then the next day, on Sunday, I had to go to a wedding. And I probably got like 4 hours of sleep, but the wedding was upstate New York. It was a pretty dope wedding. But it was very white.
I hate white weddings.
Yeah, it was very white.
The music was boring. And
nobody wanted to dance. Yeah. Like the music was...
White weddings are tough, man.
And it was a lot of my coworkers... One of my coworkers, he got married, and he invited us all to the wedding, and it was funny because I don't have a suit, right? I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to spend money on a suit plus a gift. Yeah, I'm like, this is gonna be expensive. I was like, I don't know. I was like, but then he was like, I'm gonna have this box of pre-rolls, and I was like, I'll be there. I'll fucking and show up. But I had a suit at the cleaners. That I left there before COVID, right?
Damn, that's mad long ago.
Right? Before COVID, I left this suit.
There's no way they still had it.
In Sea Caucus. And the pandemic happened, and I never got the suit. And I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to spend. And I was like, let me fucking call him and see. I fucking call him. I'm like, hey, I left this suit there. This is crazy. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I left this suit there before the pandemic, like March of 2020. you think you might still, you still have it? He's like, hey, I don't throw anything out. It's still here. Give me your information and I'll look it up and I'll call you back. And he never called me back. And I was like, fuck. So then I drove over there one day. I walked in and I told him the same thing again. And he was like, what's the number? He gave my phone number. He looked. There was no ticket in the system. That's how old it was. And
they got a new system and everything.
Yeah. And he was like, when did you bring it in? And I told him the date and he fucking put the fucking thing. There it is.
That's
he fucking pulled the fucking suit out.
Damn.
3 fucking years. That shit was.
How big is his storage space?
It was in the shop. Like it wasn't even anywhere else. It was just in the shop. He just was like, shh. He fucking knew. He had the index. He was
That's
like,
crazy.
Pulled it out. He was like, here it is. I'm like, I can't believe you have this suit.
I'm about to just bring some suits to the laundromat and just leave it there. And maybe one day I'll go pick it up if I need it.
Bro.
It's like a savings account for fucking suits.
I thought, yeah, a savings account. I thought he was going to charge me. Storage. A lot of people, if you keep it there longer than 30 days, they charge you storage. Right, it has on the receipt. So I'm like, all right, so how much do I owe you? And he was like $13.70, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, bro, you're like the best dry cleaner in the world. I was like, I'm gonna bring all my suits. Like anytime I need dry cleaning done, I'm coming here. I don't care if it's out of the way.
Which is once every 5 years, apparently.
I owe you. Yeah, I owe you. I'm gonna go bring it back now. I'm like, hey, hold this for me. Hold this for me until the next wedding I get invited to.
Damn, that man's efficient. That's insane.
I can't believe. I'm still blown away that he had that fucking suit. And I'm excited to tell people that story because I get to the same point, and at the same point where you're like, there's no way he still had the suit.
Yeah, it's inconceivable.
Yeah, like March 2020, there's no way he still had that suit. No, that motherfucker had that suit, and it was still crispy.
You know how many things changed in the world in the past 3 years?
Not
and
that
this guy
guy.
still has the same fucking system.
He was in the same spot that I left him in when I dropped the suit off. When
Same
I came
clothes.
back in, he was still sitting in the same spot. He was like, huh? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why he doesn't have. It's just the front. Maybe it's just the front.
He's laundering money.
Know? Yeah, he's just got he's like, all right, all those clothes are people that dropped suits off there and they killed. And they just left them there. And he's like, yeah, I still got it. I don't throw anything out. They're all souvenirs because he's a psychopath serial killer.
And that guy deserves something. I don't know what, but.
It wasn't any money. I'll just bring my suits back.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bring the suit back
Deserves your future business.
To fuck with him. That's fucking nuts, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't hold on to
most
shit like
people, most people. Well, you know what? Because they do the dry cleaning on premises.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of dry cleaners be sending shit out. Oh, man, that shit annoyed me. Look how long I left the dry cleaning there. Then I had other dry cleaner where I do my laundry at. I had 2 shirts there. And they took like a week and a half to get it. Like I went in there to get it. They said 1 week. And I went in there to get it. And they're like, oh, sorry, it's not ready. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? It's not ready. It's been a week. They're like, oh, we send it out. They got busy. And I'm like, oh, man. I was like, who do you send it to so I can go there next time? She just looked at it. I was like, all right, don't worry about it.
Yeah, where do you send it? I've always, that part of the business doesn't make sense.
They send it to another dry cleaner.
Yeah. Like, why don't they have it on their premises?
Yeah,
you know?
it's so fucking weird.
I don't even know how dry cleaning works.
I have no idea.
What do they do?
I don't know.
How do you clean something?
I think it's
with
a big
no
ass
water?
iron in the back.
Probably
they have a fucking
big steam machine or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. I want to fucking YouTube that one day.
They clean with like dry ice or some shit.
Dry cleaning. How does dry cleaning happen?
Yeah, there's definitely an explanation out there somewhere.
They have to use starch, right?
Oh yeah, that's
or
right.
You could say no starch. But I never say no starch because I don't even know what starch is.
Yeah, it just makes it more stiff.
I'm not allergic to it. I know that much.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know George Costanza gets the fucking starch done in his underwear and they fucking come out on the hanger and they're just like fucking straight flat. I never fuck with starch. I fuck with starch in the can when you go to iron.
Starch in the can. I don't even iron.
That?
I use a steamer. A steamer is so much better than an iron.
Oh, it is
so
now.
much more efficient.
I have a steamer now,
Yeah.
which reminds me, I gotta get it back from the fucking chick I work with. I let her borrow it. For
Yeah,
the
get
wedding.
that shit back, man. You need that. Don't let
motherfucking
anyone take
steamer.
your steamer.
She's like, when was the last time you used the steamer? I was like, I have no idea. She's like, I filled it up with water. I turned it on and it exploded.
Bro, I brought it over I went to the UK a few years ago, and I didn't use a power converter. I just did the regular adapter that doesn't change the voltage. The water it got so hot like it does, and then it spit out at me.
Oh,
It like
shit.
burned me. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, I'm a fucking moron. Like, why would I do that?
Bloody.
But yeah, the steamer is way better than the iron.
Yeah, I like the steamer. The problem is I don't have. You have to have the little stand that it comes with. So that it
yeah, to
holds it
hang.
up.
Yeah, sometimes
I don't have that stand.
Neither do I. You got to do like a makeshift.
Yeah, I do it.
rack,
I
put on
do
your
it like this with
shower.
my hand, and I
Yeah.
burn. I just get 3rd-degree burns
Yeah.
on my thumb.
Or sometimes I'll put my shirt on, like, fuck, I need to steam this. I'll just
Yeah.
do it on my body.
Oh my god, you're fucking psycho.
Yeah, it's like the lazy moron Olympics.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Press for time. I was fucking changing my tie right before I left because apparently I didn't realize that the suit has straight lines in it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not patterned. It's just the fabric itself is like lined.
Okay.
Right? It has like
Just
it almost looks like if you look really close, then you can see like it's striped.
you got it.
Right.
But it's not the design of it.
But it's not the design, it's just the
fabric.
fabric that's
Yeah.
like that. And then I wore a tie with polka, like really little dots.
Okay.
Right? Really small dots. And it just kind of makes it look like one of those 3D fucking posters that you have to stare at for a fucking image to come out. Like that's what
Yeah.
it looks like. It's really cool. Whenever I look at myself in the mirror, it just looks like it's fucking moving and shit. But then I had it all done and I'm like ready to leave. And I'm fucking looking and I'm like, fuck, you can't wear dots with stripes. Like, isn't that a fucking rule? I'm like, I don't have time to look
dots and
this
stripes.
out.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I don't think so.
fuck.
Yeah, or you can, but I think like the patterns have to be like if you have big stripes, then you need small dots. I think it's something like that, you know?
That
It
makes
can't be the
sense.
same size,
That makes sense.
or it might be the opposite where it has to be the same size patterns.
I'm not fashionable at all.
Neither am I, but sometimes when I wear a suit, I do like to like wear the fucking suit.
Mm-hmm.
So I've Googled so many things and looked up all these like men's
Yeah.
fashion suit wearing tips and all that, but it's something along those lines.
Yeah.
You
well,
know?
that makes sense if you're gonna fucking do it up. Me, I
Yeah.
went to fucking DSW. I had to get shoes.
Yeah, like
Got me a
what?
pair of hush puppies.
Yeah, when I wear a suit, I don't like it to look like I'm going to court or some shit. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what everybody said. I look like on my fucking when I posted on Instagram. Like, oh, you went to court? I'm like, no,
Remember
I
your
didn't go
PO?
to court. God damn it.
Yeah, if I wear a
Those days
suit,
are over.
I dress in fucking gym clothes 99% of the time. But if I wear a suit, I do like to like wear the fucking suit.
Yeah, I go to work sometimes in fucking sweats. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I work at Peloton, so like I'm wearing essentially gym clothes.
Yeah, but that's the
You know,
fucking attire.
Yeah, exactly.
That's who you want
Exactly,
to sell you a
that's
fucking exercise
Yeah,
bike.
yeah, exactly,
This guy
yeah.
looks like he's about to go train right now.
My whole life is 99% gym clothes. When I do comedy, I'm like, man, can I just wear this? Can I just wear sweats? You know,
know.
but I try not to.
Yeah, I guess that's frowned upon, right? Sweats.
Open
or like,
mics is cool. Depends on the
shorts.
show. It's cool, I guess. But
Radio City Music Hall with fucking shorts.
I think if you're big enough, you could pull it off.
Yeah, like Big J Okerson could do it.
Yeah,
right?
100%. It depends who you are. You
Yeah.
can make it work. But if you're a no name,
I
they're
don't like fashion at all. I'm so like all the clothes I have, other people have bought for me. Like most
Okay.
of my wardrobe, usually like my ex-wife would have bought for me.
yeah.
Or like,
Bought for you.
yeah,
Got it. Got
talk to somebody for long enough to start buying your shit.
it. Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's the only shirts I have. It's like
I can't
that.
fend for
Yeah,
myself out here.
I don't. I'm bad. Like these jeans, these are my only pair of blue jeans.
Yeah.
And then I have a pair of black jeans. And
Yeah.
that's it. And then I got like 3 pairs of khakis.
Yeah.
And like that's my rotation for work if I'm being serious about myself. Otherwise, I have like 4 or 5 sweats.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes like I'll,
Mad t-shirts.
yeah.
Most of
are-
them I don't fit in anymore. I'm just like, wait. I'm like, when I fucking lose some weight, that shirt's gonna look fucking fly again. I can't
Gives
wait
you
to wear that shirt
motivation.
again. Yeah, yeah. You think it would?
Yeah. Every now and then I'm like, I kind of want to dress nice, you know,
Mhm.
and then I might buy some shit that I saw someone wearing 5 years ago that was dope. Now I'm like dressing behind.
Yeah.
You know?
just way behind.
Yeah. It'll come back though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
It
now-
always circles back.
Kids are on this.
They're wearing
people are
90s
talking,
clothes,
Yeah, people are
early
talking shit
2000s.
about kids wearing Junko jeans
Yeah.
in the city. Remember those fucking jeans?
I think they were I missed those.
Good. Lucky.
Yeah, I missed
Yeah,
those.
You don't want pictures of you going back to that. I was part of the Junko scene era, but
Okay.
I couldn't afford to have jeans that were in style.
Yeah.
Like I never could get name
Same.
brand jean. I would get Arizona jeans from
Same.
Sears. You know, like
Yeah.
when I was a kid, that was all you were getting.
Arizona. Yeah, 100%. I remember in middle
Or
school,
Levi's.
I got a pair of Echo jean shorts. And I remember this girl was like, "Oh, I like your shorts." I was like, "Fucking nice." I got the dope shorts.
They become the favorite.
Yeah.
They become like the basis of what you model around. You always have that outfit that you would call on for the weekend.
Yeah. I remember I liked these pair of Fila sneakers so much when I was in like 5th or 6th grade. I got a pair and then I fucked them up because I was a kid and I got the same exact pair again. Just because, you
Filas.
Yeah, the Filas.
Filas used to be so clean.
They were.
White with the fucking blue with that little red.
Yeah.
That little red mark. And all the sneakers, almost like when they first came out, all the sneakers followed that color scheme. Like they didn't deviate from that. Like, it was like just blue and white or white and blue with like a
I
little
guess you're
red.
right.
And then they started rocking like black.
Yeah, I think I had like black and red ones.
Yeah. Then they started rocking different colors. But I feel like the first Filas, when Filas was first coming out, they
White
were
and
most
blue?
primarily like white, and then they would have like different blue accents on different styles.
Yeah.
And then they would always have that one bit of red on the F.
Yeah.
And it was like, fuck. And Filas were so nice with like sweats. With like a sweatsuit with some nice Filas. Fucking Filas were nice, man. Then they made clothes. Get a Fila hoodie. Did they make jeans? Then shit just got so bootleg. Like then they
Clothes-wise?
bootlegged clothes just blew up where they were bootlegging everything. So heavy, like
That's
South
true.
Pole.
Yeah. And that was big too. Like if you got caught wearing some bootleg shit, you were getting
So
flamed.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, why would you do that? Why are you not rich? Why
That
did
shit
you not
is
buy?
fake as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't even wear it. Why even bother?
Yeah.
But I would wear fake jewelry a lot. Like
Yeah.
that, what I was talking about before, like the Tupac era of my life, like that was real. And
yeah.
this kid I lived next door to, he was from Jersey City, and he was his mother had married a football player, like a former NFL player. So they had money, and he would get all like Tommy Hilfiger, Carl Kanai, the clothes with the plate. And they used to have the fucking plate on it and everything. Yeah. And he would have all those clothes, but he would also bring fake jewelry from Jersey City. And he'd have these fucking thick rope chains.
Yeah.
Or he had this one big African piece. It was like the lady with the fucking flat top head, like it's like a side view. She's like a Lincoln, like almost like a
I think
coin,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
you know, and it has like that big African helmet or Egyptian helmet or some shit like that.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I don't know if it's hair or if it's a fucking like a head figure, but it's some sort of like historical black figure. And he had this big ass chain, and like I wore it. Like I think we went to like fucking Sound Factory with the fucking chain.
Sound Factory,
right? Do you remember Sound Factory? Was it No, Music Factory was the teen club.
Wasn't there a Sound Factory?
There was a Sound Factory, but that was adult. Yeah. Music Factory was on Route 17 in Carlstadt or East Rutherford. One of them. It was on Route 17, right on Route 17, and they had a teen night. Okay. And we would go as a fucking 13, 14-year-old, and you're at a club, you know, and they only serve soda because it's fucking teen night. But you're in a club, they're playing music.
That's wild,
all fucking teens. It used to be insane, but they don't do that anymore. Oh, just a whole club for teens.
Yeah, do
bro.
that? I mean, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, like I'm not a predator.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't
have any predator friends that can tell me this.
I haven't looked up latest teen nights.
You can't Google it.
Yeah, are there any teen nights in my area? You can't. I don't know, but yeah,
teen bro, that was fucking crazy. There was a whole club that I think it was like a Friday night they did it too. It wasn't just because there was no school the next day. And I used to go there all the time. And I remember they'd play Biggie and they'd be playing Wu-Tang and all these fucking songs. And you're just hanging out at a club and you're 15 years old, 14 years old.
Yeah, I never went to those. I wish I did, but I never did.
Yeah,
because that's That's a wild experience, I'm sure.
Oh my God, this girl broke my fucking heart there one time. Like this girl I was dating.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I you know when you like in those years and you go out with somebody and then you like break up and then you go out like a week later again. Like I don't know if we were on a break or what, but she was like dancing with somebody on the floor.
Oh, and you were, oh, that's rough. That's rough when you're a teenager and you see the girl you like dancing with somebody.
No, yeah.
Oh, that's not a good feeling at all.
And it made me, it was like a real Spanish dude.
Yeah.
So it made me like super insecure. I'm like, fuck, I'm not Spanish enough. I'm like, God damn it, why can't I talk Spanish? Because it was like Spanish music they were dancing to and shit. I'm like, God damn it, I lose out to Spanish again. Why am I not more Spanish? I wish I spoke Spanish. I didn't speak Spanish as a kid. I didn't learn. Like I understood it growing up because I always got spoken to in Spanish. So I always understood it. I just never talked it. They talked to me in Spanish. I talked back in English.
Yeah.
And I never understood it. And then I didn't learn it till high school Spanish class. Then I learned how to read and write.
So you speak it now?
Proper. Yeah, Spanish proper.
Yeah.
But even now, I fucking like speaking two languages at the same time. Like it's Puerto Rican. Like Puerto Ricans speak, Spanglish.
Yeah.
Like you're like fucking melding cultures.
I'm tight that like I never picked it up because like I grew up in Hackensack and all my friends spoke Spanish. I just never like. I guess anytime they spoke it, I just kind of turned my brain off. You know, like I never really soaked it in.
Where'd you grow up in Hackensack?
When?
Where?
Where? On Hudson Street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I spent the first 10 years of my life was Hackensack.
Oh, really?
That's like near Deer. You know where Sears is?
Yeah.
You know that big park that's right around the corner?
Yeah.
On Anderson?
Yep.
That big building that's right in front of the park.
Oh.
I grew up in that building.
Oh, shit.
So I used to play all the time in that park.
Yeah.
Out front, I saw this fucking bum knock this other bum out one time. So I was like a little kid like playing in dirt, man. And I'm like listening to these guys argue. All of a sudden, the fucking black guy was just like, bam, hit the white guy, cracked him.
Yeah,
knocked him clean out.
Yeah, the apartment building I lived in, the complex, there were so many crackheads in there. I saw this dude get maced by the police.
Oh.
Yeah, like right outside my window. Like you just hear a commotion, and I'm like peeking out my window. As they just sprayed him down, man. It was pretty funny.
People sleep on Hackensack.
Because Hackensack split into like two different areas, you know? There's like this really rich suburbs part, and then
Summit
there's
Ave.
the exact opposite.
Yeah, Summit Ave is nice.
Yeah, Summit Ave, super nice. Prospect.
Clinton, you ever go to the
Halloween on
Clinton?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was a kid, man, that shit used to be so fucking big, like so much bigger. Like now I feel like a lot of houses dropped out, people moved away, people died and shit.
Yeah,
so
I don't think it's the same.
Houses, and it's the same. The people that do it just put up the same
decorations
every year. So it's always the same. But one time I was a kid and we went and this person had a whole thing. You walk through their backyard. You enter and like they gave you candy, and then you go in the back and they had like other candy stations. Okay. But they had all this other thing, and I remember they had this big casket, and this guy would come out of the casket and scare you. Whoever fucking lived at the house, I don't know if he was a fucking big brother or whatever. I was a kid, but they fucking opened the door and he was like, ah, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is in somebody's backyard. Like, you know, it was like so big. Yeah, people were so different back then.
Yeah, but I guess like. Yeah, how long do you keep that up? Year after year? Like you said, people move, people die, and people are like, who gives a fuck anymore?
Yeah, man. You know? And you know what? Then too, it gets so crowded.
Yeah.
And people are such fucking animals, bro. They just fucking throw their shit everywhere. You like walking on, I see like this McDonald's bag, and I'm like, how do you have a whole fucking meal while you're walking?
Yeah, and I don't like when people litter, man. Shit is annoying.
I take that personally.
I really do. Why would you do that?
It's such a pet peeve to me. Like even little shit. Like I'll take a gum wrapper, I eat it, and I don't throw it in the shit.
I put it in my pocket. Yeah, same thing. I put it in
my
pocket.
And you just throw it out.
And then I forget about it, and I throw it in
the
wash
laundry.
it. Yeah. I'm like, what's this fucking silver?
Yeah. I ruin my clothes for the environment, all right? What have you fucking done for the environment?
We're super green over here.
You repost Greta Thunberg fucking videos, big fucking deal, all right? I'm ruining Gucci. I don't have any fucking, I have nothing Gucci.
Ruining your Janko jeans with the
my
gum
Janko
wrappers.
jeans. I can't even lie and say I have Janko or Gucci. I almost bought the Louis wallet once.
I thought about that one time. I was like, I'm not doing that.
I'm like, why am I gonna have a Louis wallet and
Yeah.
that's it?
Yeah.
Like nothing. I'm gonna whip out my Louis wallet with my fucking Jansport backpack. You know, it doesn't match.
Yeah.
You need all of it.
You
You
need
need
all
all
the
the
Louis.
accessories. It's all or nothing. If you just buy one stupid thing, you're trying too hard, bro.
Yeah.
We know that put you back. All right.
You
You
had to save up for
sacrificed
that.
for that. Yeah. Something didn't get paid. You could have moved ahead with your life. You could have progressed. And instead you spent it on a stupid fucking wallet.
Spend half the rent check.
Yeah,
on
that's
a
going to
wallet.
remind you how broke you are every time you take it out, right? Because you're going to be like, God damn, I'm whipping out this Gucci wallet, but I'm also concerned that if I have enough on this debit card, that doesn't go together.
You whip out the Gucci wallet, pull out your Capital One debit card.
Yes, and you know you have your fucking your Louis Vuitton wallet in your hand while you're checking your balance to make sure you have enough to
Yeah.
cover it.
You're at Stop and
It
Shop.
don't match. Yeah,
Pull it out, try to put your number in for the coupons.
Yeah.
You
can't-
You can't coupon hunt with the Louis Vuitton
there's no
wallet.
coupon pocket in a Louis Vuitton wallet, bro. There's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't whip out your Louis Vuitton wallet and say $10 regular. You just can't do it. Nobody's gonna fucking respect you. It's gonna be so obvious. It's fill it up or go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
There's no options.
That's a commitment when you get the Louis wallet, man. Because when, like you said, you can't just have that.
yeah.
So you get that. And
People are
now
gonna
you gotta
expect things from you.
Yeah. You're setting yourself up for failure.
Bro, you go on a date with a girl and you take out the fucking Louis wallet, but we splitting this. It's like, why do you don't want to give people that perception either.
No, you want to go the opposite way.
Yeah.
You know, you want to dress like a bum
Yes.
and then be
keep
like,
them guessing.
Yeah, and be like, fill up my tank. You
Bro,
know?
that's it right there. That's
even
the
think about
move.
it.
That fucks. Listen, that's a good move on a date.
Fill up the tank.
Fill up the tank,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
That's a fucking flex.
Yeah.
That's a hard flex on a fucking
We don't
thing.
even
Like,
look at the price.
sorry, I got to get gas. Hold on one sec. Yeah, you just stop anywhere. Like, hey, can you fill it up regular?
Do you? Okay. I always fill it up, regardless if I'm poor or not,
Mm-hmm.
because you're gonna have to spend it at some point anyway.
Yeah.
You know? Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
not fill it up every time?
I go based on what I have cash.
Okay.
So it's usually like 20, 25.
Yeah.
Or if I know like I'm going to do a lot of shit and I have the cash, then I'll hit them with the fill it up.
Yeah.
But usually it's because I know in my car too, from wherever I'm at, from like a quarter of a tank or not, 25 is going to bring me almost to the fill point.
Okay.
So I'm always doing it based on cash
Yeah.
because it's fucking 10-cent difference. I don't know how much it is, but I feel like
I
in the
get it.
long run,
In the long run, you come out on top.
yeah, like I feel
Yeah.
like in the long run it
Yeah.
adds up.
Yeah. But
So-
no, I always fill it up. I mean,
It's such a good flex. Aaron had that joke. That's what made me think about
Aaron
that.
Berg.
Wahlberg.
Oh, Wahlberg.
Mhm.
Well, I just got a Tesla, so I don't even have to think about that
Ooh.
anymore. Which my friend was telling me she was going to go on a date with a guy who had a Tesla, and he bailed on her because he's like, I didn't charge my car. I feel like that's the worst.
Whoa, dude. It's not an excuse.
That's not a good excuse whatsoever.
Yeah,
I
he had
like it.
another date.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Or his wife
He had
came
another
home or
date.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good excuse. I was like, he was lying to you about something.
Yeah,
That's not.
because if he or he doesn't think that highly of you. Either way, you got to be insulted
Yeah, it's
that this
insulting.
guy didn't fucking charge his car
Yeah.
because I feel like a person that has a Tesla has that in their mind as
Always.
part of the things you're gonna do.
Yeah, you
Like
have to
if you get
plan out for
excited,
that.
yeah, like if you're excited about doing something, all right, man, I can't wait for this. I got to charge my, I got to
You
charge
gotta-
the car,
Yeah, it's a little more planning,
right?
For sure.
That's like, but I mean, like when you go down that checklist, I got to get a shape up, I got to get my,
Yeah.
I got to charge the car. I feel like that would be high up
yeah,
on your list of to dos.
100%.
You
Because
know?
you're fucked. Because if you run out of charge, there's no, oh, yo, can you bring me some electricity really quick? There's none of that.
They gotta have that one day.
I would,
Right?
I heard AAA had it at one point, then they got rid of it. I guess it's not like cost effective or it's not efficient enough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like,
But
how many miles do you need? They need to be able to give you at least like 50,
that's
can you
a
give me
lot.
50?
50's a lot.
right?
50's a lot.
Oh,
I don't know the kind of I don't know how they would do that. But like when you hit zero, apparently you get like a few extra miles, like the same way you hit E on your gas
Mm-hmm.
tank. You can still go a little bit. But once it's dead, you need to call a tow truck. There's nothing else you can do.
Yeah, you can't even sit there and listen to the radio or nothing, right? It's just fucking completely dead.
If it's dead,
Like a dead cell phone.
Yeah.
You don't get nothing.
Dead, it's dead, man.
God damn. That's got to be weird to like try to like push the limits.
Yeah.
Right?
I've gotten to 3% before, and I was like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was on my way to a charger too. I was like, I don't want to be in that situation again.
Yeah, because I do that sometimes with the gas when you
I've
get
done
real
that
low.
so much.
And I'm just like, I wonder how long I know it says 21 miles. I was like, I just want to see.
Like Kramer. You want to push it.
Yes,
Like
I just want to see how far. Like,
I've done that. So before, like when I was 18, I went to upstate New York, and my tank was on E, like on the way up, and I didn't put gas in, and then I didn't know how to pump my own gas, so I was like, I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna try to make it back to Jersey.
Oh shit!
So I did make it back, but just like the fear of not knowing how to pump my own gas, I was like, I could fuck myself right now.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
That's
but you're
crazy.
I feel like the cars go a long time after you hit E. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, because that number stops counting like around 25 miles.
Yeah.
It stops telling me that I'm it's like, you know what? Fuck it. You're on your own, bro.
Yeah.
You don't want to listen to me. And like, I already told you since 39 miles, I've told you that you need gas. We're now at 20 and you still haven't responded. I'm fucking done.
It's like, you don't want to listen.
The car's like, just
Car's running on pure muscle memory.
You're getting
you know?
dashes now. That's all I'm giving you dashes. I'm closing my eyes and letting you figure out the rest because you've been a fucking dick not listening. I feel like the car, that part of the car nags you.
Yeah.
That same, like, if a car had a voice, it'd be like that female beeping that makes when you fucking don't buckle your seatbelt.
Oh, that thing drives me crazy. I hate that so much.
When somebody gets in your car and you start taking off and they're like on their phone or something and they don't buckle up.
It's like, yo, buckle up.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stopped short on them. It's like, hey, they're like, ugh. Like, see, it'd
Safety
be a lot
first.
less scarier if you'd had your seatbelt on.
Yeah, that shit drives me crazy.
Yeah, that
Just
fucking
little
beep.
sounds like that.
That
Sometimes,
fucking beep.
sometimes my girl's on her phone and she's just like, just sounds are coming out of it. And I'm like, you just like turn the volume down or something.
Yeah.
You know,
On the phone?
on the phone.
Phone
Yeah, I
beeps?
hate like little beeps and sounds
Yeah.
that are kind of random. You know, it's like a form of torture almost.
That's how they get you. They
Yeah.
put you in a room. They
Yeah.
fucking blindfold you. And they start playing like old AOL modem sounds.
A fucking water drop on your forehead.
Wait, one drop every 8 seconds. A drop's landing on your head, and you're listening to AOL modem sounds.
Yeah, it's not good.
While somebody has a little feather near your ear. You just keep. Oh my god! You could do some fucked up shit to people. Psychologically torture people.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've done so many experiments on that.
Oh, I'm sure.
How to get people to talk.
Yeah. But it's not effective, right? I mean, it's effective in like they'll talk, but are they even telling you what's real? They just want it to stop.
See, that's where the skill comes in. Because you don't want to bring them to that point.
Yeah.
You want to make it manageable. The problem is how much time do you have?
Yeah.
Right? Like if you were looking for nuclear secrets because some shit's going to fucking blow up.
Yeah, you can't
You
ease
have to
into
go
it.
all out. But if you can ease into it, I feel like that would be more dependable to breaking them.
You know, like get to know them a little bit.
Yeah.
Or do you get to know them? I don't know.
No, I think you kind of develop like a rapport with them, but you're not bringing them to the breaking point, right? You just keep you're torturing them, yeah, but you're not breaking them where they're just going to tell you whatever you want to hear to make it stop.
Yeah.
You know, you want them to lose their fucking mind and be like, I want this to stop if I just tell them what they want to know.
Yeah. I guess it's more of a time thing.
Yeah.
You know, the
Time
longer you
crunch.
can keep somebody,
Yeah.
the more likely.
That's why they got those black sites in Europe. You just keep you there for fucking for indefinite amounts of time.
Yeah, because I guess when you're in that situation and you're like, well, this isn't going to change anytime soon. I've been here for fucking 8 weeks. I might as well tell them what they want to know.
Not a vacation.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
You know?
I couldn't do that to people.
No.
I'm too nice. I'm too empathetic.
Too empathetic, yeah.
I'm too empathetic about their needs.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
We live in a sick world, man.
Bro, some people I feel like sometimes I get so angry that I think of torturing people to get them to understand my point.
Okay.
Right? I have this fucking vision in my head like they're tied up. And I'm just like, why didn't you let me in? You could have just let me in. Why don't you let people in? And I just feel like, it's overkill. It's overkill for the reason why we're there, why I'm thinking about this.
The fantasy is overkill? Yeah.
It's definitely overkill. But it's more like, you ever watch those videos of instant karma videos?
Yes.
Right? There's like that feeling you get where you're like, you fucking got what you deserve.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess it's because people escape justice. You know what I mean? Like, you ever watch somebody, you see them like run a red light, and you're like, oh, that was such a dickhead move. And like, you escaped justice there. Like, justice would have been that you you smashed into, like the wall or something. Right? And then you see those videos.
Yeah.
They're so gratifying.
100%. Or like a guy's like cursing somebody out. He turns around, walks into a sign or something like that.
Oh my God. You ever see the dude with the they say it's the MAGA hat, but it's just a red hat.
Oh, he's walking the dog.
And he's just maybe he is walking. Yeah, I think he's walking a dog
right?
in a crosswalk.
And he's like, fuck you and this and that.
Yeah,
and
the guy says, oh, fuck you. And he just walks into the fucking pole. And then the fucking guy starts laughing. And he gets even madder.
Yeah, that's the funniest. Because now he's pissed he walked. Because when you walk into something just on its own, you're infuriated.
Oh, he hit that fucking pole so hard. Those are the fucking videos I like. I like those, but I can go down a real deep rabbit hole of road rage instant karma videos.
Okay, those are, I don't go out of my way to find them, but I'll see them and I'm like, that's pretty funny.
Sometimes when I'm really angry.
Yeah.
And
just,
I need somebody to pay.
And you don't want to do it yourself.
I don't want to hurt nobody. So I just watch people that have already been hurt. All right. I had nothing to do with hurting them. I'm just using that experience for my own personal fucking sickness. But you see people like come and they just fucking cut you off. And I have those thoughts like, man, I want to tie you up in the freaking basement.
Yeah.
And figure out why you're like this. Then you get to the heart. If you're like, well, my mother's sick, man. I'm just trying to get to the hospital. And you're like,
why did you just say that?
Why did you just say that from the start? Why were you such a dick?
Yeah. So like anytime like I don't really have road rage. And anytime something crazy happens on the road, for the most part, I'm like, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, oh, maybe they were in a rush. They had to take a shit or something. They were going to like shit their pants. Yeah. But I feel like for most of us, our instinct is to assume the worst. Mm-hmm. Like this person's a fucking moron.
Yep.
You know?
100%. I do the same thing. I try to like talk, because I did this seminar a long time ago. I know fucking anybody that talks about it on Rogan, they call it a cult. Okay. But it's called the Landmark Forum. Right?
I don't know what that is.
And it's a seminar. It's like a weekend seminar. Yeah. And you just go through your life and you figure out different ways to look at your life. Like the whole premise behind it is like you make decisions when you're a kid, and then you start playing out those decisions as like, as an adult. So you're like an adult making decisions based on your interpretation of life that you made as a kid. And, there's no context to it. And you're like replaying these scenarios just because of something happened. So for example, we were talking about the jeans. One time we went to Sears to do school shopping, and as a kid, I wanted Boss jeans because that was the shit that everybody was wearing. So I told my mom, let's get Boss jeans. And they didn't have Boss jeans at Sears. They had Arizona jeans. So my mom was like, this is what you're getting. So I made a decision in my life as a kid that I'm not worth it. And then I replay that throughout my entire life. I don't do things because I'm not worth it. I don't do because I'm not worth it. I'm not worth it. So once you identify it, then you can shut that off,
like that pathway down. Yeah.
So, here we go again, where I went off on a fucking tangent and don't remember the point I was trying to make. What the fuck were we talking about? God damn it.
We were talking about how by instinct we assume the worst in somebody.
So you create the story in your head. You're the director. Everybody else is an actor in your story.
Yeah.
Right? But you're the director. You're writing the story. So you can choose to say this person's a dick, and then that's the story that you're going to write, and now you're going to play out based on that plot everything after that.
Okay.
Right? So now you're going to act out this guy's the dick in your story, so you have to treat him like a dick. And then if nobody else is treating him like a dick, then they're wrong in your story too. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So I would flip it. So I talk. That's why I talk shit in the car to myself, is because I'm trying to change the narrative. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, you're an idiot. Maybe your mother's dying in the hospital and you have to get there fast.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that shit works, surprisingly. Like, it works. The minute I try to start shitting on somebody, I'm like, well, here I am being a dick. You know, maybe he's doing that because he's shitting himself. Yeah.
I don't know. I just see so many people who have road rage and they like take things personal, and like it's like you don't know what's happening with them. Something crazy could be happening with them. Yeah, they could be an asshole, but it could be something else too. And then like, have you never made a mistake on the road before?
Right.
You know? So I have to think about that too.
Yes.
So I'm not a hypocrite.
Oh, I'm a perfect driver.
Yeah. Dude, yesterday, oh man, I saw an old man get hit by a truck, like a Chevy Silverado.
Holy
shit. It
shit.
was bad, man. So it kind of ties into what we're talking about. I was approaching like a three-way, right? There was a street, and then I was driving on the perpendicular street, and I was approaching the light turned green. The Silverado was in front of me. It was making a left. As it was making a left, like this older couple, they had to be in their 60s. They were like trying to cross, and they got into that little jog, you know, when you see like a car coming to go a little faster. So the woman, she jogged, she did it. And then as the husband tried to speed up too, the truck, instead of stopping, it accelerated. Like he was trying to beat them or something. I don't know what he was trying to do. It was scary.
Yeah.
And he just plowed into this dude, man. And I just saw everything happen right in front of me. The dude, he was conscious on the ground, but he was not in good shape. And he was like bleeding out. Paramedics came and everything. But I didn't see the driver because I was behind the truck and the driver never got out. But I just assumed every bad thing. Like I assumed he accelerated because he was trying to beat them or he was trying to scare them. You know, and then just based on the wife's reaction to the driver when she looked at the driver, it felt like the driver was annoyed with the situation.
That he hit him.
Yeah, he was like in a rush or something. And that's just based on, I don't know. That's just my initial assumption.
Yeah.
You know, so hope that guy's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he dies. I might have to testify because I was at the scene of the crime.
Did you stick around? Or?
I did. I couldn't. I had nowhere to move.
Oh, so you
I
had
was
to
like,
stay.
So then,
shit.
then the cops came. I told them I saw everything. I told them what happened. So they might call me.
Get out of the car. You're like, hey, how long is this gonna take? Does he have to stay? Does he have to stay there?
Yeah. So I was like, all right.
Can you move him up?
I was like, I can wait. This is fine. But there was there was an old lady in a car like behind me, and she was like trying to go. I guess she didn't know someone got hit, and she's like beeping. And I was like, yo, someone just got hit. You can't go that way. And she's like, where am I supposed to go? It's like another way.
Yeah. Right? How about not to the hospital? Can you be grateful for a little while that you're not going to the hospital?
Can you be grateful you just get plowed by a Silverado?
Poor bastard.
Yeah, and then it was like pandemonium because they're right in front where the dude got hit. There's like a car wash, and everyone that worked at the car wash, they were like looking on, and someone called the cops and all that. Then there's an apartment attached to the car wash, and the guy who lives in the apartment came down, and he like ran to where the guy got hit, and he started yelling at the driver. He's like, "Turn your fucking engine off," this and that. Which the guy should turn the engine off. And then as he was walking back to his apartment, he still started yelling at the guys working at the car wash. He's like, you guys see someone fucking get hit and you go back to washing cars, you fucking pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see the guys at the car wash go back to like, they were trying to help.
Oye, mira.
Yeah. And
in their defense, you can't let the water dry. It's going to fuck the car up. Like, it's going to fuck the wash up. They're not EMTs.
Yeah, they can't do anything. They're not. What are they supposed to do, you know? But then they started yelling at each other. And I was just sitting in my...
The guy went back upstairs to go back to sleep. He just got disturbed by the fucking commotion. Comes out like he's a fucking EMT.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. He just escalated
he went
the situation.
Back inside. Yeah, went back in. He started some shit and then fucking left.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
Yeah, that was nuts, man.
That's this lady that I work with. She started choking at the wedding yesterday.
Did she?
And she chokes like I work. She sits next to me. I'm always talking shit about her on the podcast, and she sits next to me, and she's always choking. She's always choking on her spit or on some
or
food
water
or something. Yeah, so I'm used to ignoring her. So she's on the table in front of me, and she starts fucking choking. The girl next to her, my other coworkers, like patting on her back, and then she looks back at me, and I'm like, she's still sitting, like she's still standing. Like I didn't move. I'm just looking at her like, even if she does, I'm like, what am I gonna do? My job has denied all my requests to be on the first aid team, considering there's nobody on the first aid team upstairs. So I was like, I'll take the bullet and be on the CPR trained first aid, like at my job, because I work with a lot of glass.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that are trained in first aid and how to respond to shit.
Yeah.
But then we don't have anybody upstairs. So if somebody chokes or something, I'm like, they're going to have to come running from downstairs. And the people that are downstairs, not for nothing, they're not the most attractive bunch. So I really don't want any of them doing CPR on me. So like, we got to get trained. And I'm like, you guys don't either. So get me trained so I can molest you if something happens to you. No wonder they haven't fucking... They don't take me seriously.
Yeah, look, you listen to these guys' podcasts. We can't have him certified. All the evidence was right there.
That was one of my jokes too. When I before, because I moved chairs, but before when I was downstairs, I was sitting in a group, and the person next to me is a fucking really big fat fucking guy. Okay. And he's on the first aid team, and I'm like, fuck, man, if I drop or I'm choking or something, I'm like, this is the guy that's got to fucking respond. I'm like, I can't eat. Like, I was not eating any nuts, nothing I could choke on. I was
very deliberately.
Yeah, I got to chew everything out.
No
Can't
steak.
be having that shit, bro.
Yeah, man.
And she's choking, and these fucking dudes shot over there, and I'm like, oh shit, they fucking ran over there like they're EMTs. I'm like, I bet you they are fucking first responders. And probably. Then the guy I work with that was getting married came over to talk to us, and I'm like, hey, you see those fucking guys that came running over? He's like, yeah, it's my brother-in-law. He's an EMT, and the other one's he's a paramedic. And then I'm like, yeah, sure enough, those fucking guys ran into the line of fire.
Yeah, I guess if I had that training, I probably would have tried and helped more than I did yesterday. Yeah. You know? I mean, I took a picture of the guy's license plate because I didn't know if he was gonna like take off.
People do that in New York.
Take off, right?
They just fucking hit you with their car and they're fucking gone.
Yeah, so that was my immediate reaction. I took a picture of his license plate. I was like, if he drives off, should I like chase him? Because I would. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun, I guess. Right? You know? I'm
behind him I'm on Main Ave. He's heading northwest, I think.
Sir, please pull over. Yeah. No, sir, I gotta get him.
Yeah, do not pursue him. It's okay. I'm staying a safe distance. I'm using Waze. Waze says I'm going northwest on Parker. Yeah. My mom's been into police chases recently.
Like watching videos of them?
Like she's just constantly in the group chat. There's another car chase in Los Angeles. This time it's a pickup truck. He's already got one flat. I don't know how he keeps going.
It was the first big car chase, the OJ one, right? That had to be the first.
I remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's ever been a prolific car chase like that. There's never been another car. Like all the other car chases have like.
Yeah, right?
There's nothing that's ever been glorified like that because there's never been a fucking celebrity that's run from the police like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
With a gun to his own head.
Yeah.
In the fucking back of the car.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about how suicidal he was.
And they cut off like, because I was super young when that happened, so I don't really remember, but they cut off all programming on TV and just turned that on.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
They put that shit on at school.
Oh, wow.
We used to have TVs, like the big the square TVs.
Yeah.
And they'd sit on an arm.
Okay.
And
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They sit up on a fucking arm, and we used to watch TV One or whatever it was in the morning. And
homeroom announcements would come through that TV and all that.
All that shit. Yeah. And they fucking had every TV on in the school, and they just shut class down, and we were just watching this chase. And then I was like, it was like such a big deal that the trial happened, and they did the announcement of the verdict over the fucking PA.
Holy shit.
right?
Damn,
So
that's
we were
crazy.
like, I was leaving math class, 8th grade math class, and they announced it, and then we were in the hallways, and we were like, the juice is loose. The juice is loose. We just kept saying that over and over again. Not guilty. The juice is loose. Fucking kids are so stupid.
God, man.
But it was that was so big. Like there's nothing that captures our attention like that anymore.
Yeah, because our attention could be in
There's too
50
many things
different
going
places.
on.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
too much content everywhere.
Too much going on. But where things like that were that important, where I
Yeah.
feel like if it happened now, people would just it'd
Be a
be like
blip.
another meme.
Yeah, it'd be a blip.
It'd be a few memes, and that's it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know,
How-
like some forever memes of fucking OJ with the fucking gloves. Like, no fit. Yeah.
And then the next day, it's over.
Yeah.
You know?
And
It's-
shit just moves way too fucking fast.
Way
Nobody
too
cares. Nobody even realizing like what goes on. Like news is so fast that this was like some of the frustration, a lot of the frustration I had during the fucking COVID times online and shit. And you're like talking to people and they're like so far behind. And it's like, what? Like, you know,
Like they
you don't know
changed
anything. Yeah,
already,
like this
yeah.
has changed already. It's gone. It's like it's moved on. And it was the same thing with damn, what was that other fucking there was something else that was just big in the fucking news.
like recently?
Yeah, or like
Aliens?
like AI.
AI, yeah.
Like all the stuff that's going on with AI, and like most people have no clue about like this thing on your phone that you could download and then you could have conversations with it.
Yeah.
And
ChatGPT?
Yeah, and like it'll just do shit and say shit.
Yeah, it's like, design a marketing plan for this
Yeah.
product, and in 5 seconds it has
Dude.
everything set.
There was one I just saw. This guy's conversation. He posted like a screenshot, and he was like, "Hey, Chat GPT, where am I?" And the Chat GPT was like, "I don't have access to your location." And he's like, "You can't tell me where I am?" And he's like, "I don't have access to your location." And then like he asked it like a few
Yeah.
different ways, and it would tell him that he didn't have location. And then he like, Chat GPT, I want to eat McDonald's. And then it said, well, there's a McDonald's close to your location. And it's like, bitch, you did know where I
Yeah.
live, you know?
Why are
Like,
you fucking lying to me?
I
And then it
fucking-
stops answering you. I said, why are you lying to me?
just gives you the cold shoulder.
Yeah, it's crazy how efficient it's gonna. Like, it's great now, obviously, but there's still some hiccups. But like in a few months, or even next year or something, is gonna be. And even with AI songs, have you heard those?
Oh, they're making up songs, and like they had like Michael Jackson doing
They,
The Weeknd,
they've released like 3 or 4 Drake AI songs.
where it's like Drake, or the
It's-
AI's writing like in the style of Drake.
So I think someone writes it, right?
Mhm.
And then they put it through the AI, and it sounds like Drake
Yeah.
is rapping and singing.
Yeah,
And it sounds
I got these
exactly-
bars make me sound like Drake.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And you can, like, if you're like savvy enough, you can kind of tell it's not Drake because just some of the lyrics,
Mhm.
but it sounds exactly like him.
Oh,
You
they're
know?
gonna be making up shit.
Yeah. So that's I'm interested to see how that plays out, like in legal.
Yeah, they
in the
had
legal
to block
aspect, you
something.
know?
They just there was a song that just they released. I forgot who was on it. Was it the Michael Jackson in The Weeknd or something? And they took it down. Like Apple took it down,
Did they?
and it was because they have authorized like this isn't
Yeah.
that person or some shit. And it's
Yeah.
like
So I wonder, like, if they could just get around it by changing the name of the artist. You know, like spell Drake with DRAIKE. You know,
Oh, shit.
you know, because it's
Oh,
like, oh, it's not
man.
him. It just sounds like him.
like fake
is
Drake.
Is it illegal for something to sound like somebody else?
Yeah,
for
can
someone
I
to
have
sound like,
this computer impersonator?
yeah,
Impersonators are gonna be out of work, bro. That's the first motherfuckers that are gonna be
Yeah,
going
for
down.
real.
I got AI fucking Spider-Man. I don't need you.
yeah. AI is crazy.
Yeah, they're saying like it's going to replace a whole bunch of jobs, and that's I think it's easy to think of AI being like the Terminator
Mhm.
and taking over, but that's one way. But I also think, what if AI thinks we're really cool,
Right?
and that he would? What if AI thinks the world would be boring without us? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we are damaging,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of things that are damaging.
yeah.
And there's nothing, you know, what if the AI is like, there's nothing that these people are doing that's going to be irreversible.
Yeah, like what if the AI is like, you
Maybe I
know,
can
they
teach
see the
them.
positive aspects.
Yeah,
of
like
humanity.
I like having these conversations with
Yeah.
you.
How
you
can we
know?
make you better?
Yes.
You
How
know?
can I help you?
Yeah.
Right. So like, there's a lot of hope in AI. Like if you can create this crazy sentient being that's all knowing and all seeing because it has access to everything on the internet.
Mhm.
So it knows you, like you can't cheat, chat GPT knows what you jerk off to. Like it's not, you're not beating it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so you have to have a level of humility when you're dealing with this being.
Yeah.
But then this being isn't somebody that's just rogue evil and wants to destroy humanity. Like that's one way to think about it. If
Yeah.
you want to make a Terminator movie, like a new Terminator
Yeah, I
movie.
mean that's what's gonna sell.
But it could also be really good. It could also like it could give us an unbiased opinion on things and be like, hey guys, the election wasn't rigged, but there was a lot of shady business going on. And then everybody's like, all right, well, this fucking thing's a Republican. Like, oh no, it's not. It's not. Who programmed this thing? And it's like, fuck.
Yeah, it's funny,
Can
like
you-
people trying to attach parties to ChatGPT.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what
it's crazy because they're like exposing that this thing in its programming does have some like liberal bias.
yeah, I don't. So
To
every
it.
time I see like posts like that, I'm like, I just feel like you're trying to push an agenda, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, and
you know,
what questions did you ask it leading up to it?
exactly,
That, you know what I mean? What other
Yeah.
information were you feeding it before you did that?
exactly.
You know? And I don't know. That's all fucking weird. I think about how it's going to integrate, like how we're going to switch our culture because of all the jobs it's going to get rid of. Like, are we going to have to do that universal basic income? Because I'm pretty libertarian in my views. So I just don't trust centralizing things and giving too much power to people to make decisions for everybody else.
Yeah.
So like, it's not that I don't want those nice social things,
Mhm.
you know, like healthcare for everybody. I just don't trust the idiots in power to do it. I feel like they're going to
you could-
steal.
Yeah, you could. Obviously, yeah, things can be corrupted so easily.
They're going to steal
100%.
everything. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, what about the programming for this? Like, who's programming it? Like,
Yeah.
you know, so or there's going to be multiple AI bots, right? Because Google's going to have their AI bot, and then Bill Gates is going to have his AI bot, and like
Yeah.
Elon's going to have his AI bot, and like, are we going to have AI wars? Right?
They can fight the wars for us. You
Yeah,
know?
like then they're gonna be like, we have to build robots to defend ourselves from Google, and it's like, no, how are we gonna start? They're gonna start the robo wars,
For real.
and it's not humanity versus robots. It's
robots versus robots.
it's robots versus robots because of the humans. You know, like,
Yeah.
oh man,
It all comes back down to fighting with us, doesn't it?
yeah, that's what I said. Maybe the robot's gonna exhaust all shit, and they'll be like, you know what? These fucking people are still stupid. Maybe
we
I
tried.
should. Yeah, maybe
The
I
AI
should just eliminate half this population. There's too many of these motherfuckers.
AI just loses all hope. I'm like, yeah, I get it. We're gonna have to.
Yeah,
These guys
people
stink.
are fucking. These people do suck. A few of them I like. I'll keep a few. It has its own friends.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how everything plays out in the next
Yeah,
3 to 5 years, even.
so quick.
Yeah, because it's just exponential growth.
How long before we have bots in our house?
Next couple
Like
years,
real bots.
probably next couple years.
You know, and I feel like that'll be really good for old people
Yeah,
to have like a
The
nice
helper
friend
or
bot.
something, or-
Remember that
Oh.
iRobot?
yeah,
When Will Smith's mom, she had the bot, she
Yeah.
had the cyborg in the house, and it was like really helpful, helped her
Yeah.
cook, and it was companion, like somebody she talked to and
or like
shit.
Rocky 3,
Yeah.
when he had that
Oh,
robot,
the big one,
the big
yeah,
one.
Uncle Paulie.
Uncle Paulie, yeah,
They had that fucking robot, and Uncle Paulie and her used to fight all the time.
yeah. These
That's
guys
right.
arguing
They
with
gave
a
it to Uncle Paulie
Yeah.
for his birthday.
because they had it in their mansion at first.
Yes.
and they gave it to Uncle
They
Paulie.
programmed that shit to be his bitch.
But yeah, technology's crazy. Like, think about cell phones 10 years ago. Cell phones 10 years ago sucked.
Yeah.
They weren't good. You know, they were slow. I don't even think we had FaceTime at that point, or FaceTime might have just been coming out. But in 10 years, they work perfectly now. Like 10 years ago, everyone's always like, this phone fucking sucks all the time. I never say that about my phone. My phone works fucking efficiently.
That's great.
Yeah,
it
nothing
has
goes
gotten
wrong.
so much better.
Yeah. Like we finally reached a point where, when cell phones first came out, smartphones first came out, the concept of it was way ahead of the physical design.
Mm-hmm.
And now the physical design is actually what it was intended to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never got behind the touchscreen at first. Like when iPhone first came out, I was Team BlackBerry.
Same. I didn't get an iPhone until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I had an Android, but Android was dope too. But yeah, eventually you adopted to this touchscreen. But I'm with you. Just having the physical buttons was better at first.
BBM Messenger.
Yeah.
It used to be so cool with the fucking BlackBerry Messenger.
Yeah, BBM was great.
You got away messages. It brought me back to AIM.
We don't need away. Like, it's crazy. No one says BRB anymore. Everything's an ongoing conversation. You don't log off the internet. You're just on the internet.
Some people don't get that about texting. Like, how come you don't text me back? I'm like,
it's a continuous conversation.
I
can pick it up.
Text you back. Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes I read messages. I forgot who it was. I think it's a New York comic, and like we talk a lot on in the DMs of Instagram.
Yeah.
And like he'll respond to something, and then we'll laugh about something, and we'll talk back and forth. But he was like sending me these messages. And he had like questions about something, and I kept reading them, and I would always read them and like in the spot when I shouldn't have been on my phone.
Yeah.
So I read it, and I'm like, oh fuck, and I read it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go on stage, like, and then I forget to respond. So he was like a week's worth of messages where he was like, then he responds with the Travolta fucking.
He's like, got me in here like a sucker, man. Just one
non-responding. I was like, yo, dude. Then I was like here and like about to start seeding, and I just shot him like, dude, you keep texting me when I can't respond, and I shouldn't be reading my messages. I'm sorry.
And sometimes, honestly, like if someone texts me a video to watch and I can't watch it at that moment, I just give it the laugh emoji anyway.
Yes.
I'm like, fuck it. I'll take a chance here.
Like, this was a funeral.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
This guy was clearly a racist. What are you laughing at?
Dude, it's just too much.
It's too much input.
Too much input sometimes. And then I don't call a lot of people anymore.
Never.
I've made a list of people, like a list of people that I wanted to call, like at least once a week. Just because of what we were talking about before, about me being
Checking
reclusive.
Yeah.
And doing that is like trying to make sure I stay. I did it for like 3 days and then I fucking stopped. I got to get back on it. Make like my mom was on the list. Sometimes like 2 weeks go by. Yeah. And my mom's like, I just like to hear. I know nothing's going on. I know you're busy. It's like I just want to hear your voice. And I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize. Like, my brother calls her every day, and I'm like, I don't even realize that I haven't talked to you.
Days are passing like that.
In 2 weeks, like time just fucking melds.
Talking on the phone is my least favorite form of communication. I'd rather be in person first and foremost, and then texting. I would prefer
talking on the phone.
I hate it's because it like you're trapped.
That's my job too. Is talking. I work in customer service on the phone and talking to people all the time.
Communication over the phone is not good. It's just not because you can't see people. You don't know if they're about to speak again. You don't know if they're thinking and they pause for a moment and then you start speaking and you're talking over each other. Yeah, and it's just not a good way to communicate.
Yeah. It's sometimes I like it if I need to get a point across right away.
Correct. Yeah, like, you're in an argument or something. You're like, hold on.
Yeah, or you're like giving directions or something, and it's like timely. And you're like, I need to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like
then you need to pick up the phone.
Yeah. You're ordering food. You call someone up like, what do you want? I'm online right now.
Yes, I'm online right now. Or if I really don't want to get you something, but I'm still trying to act like I'm polite, then I'll shoot you the text. And then when you respond, like, oh,
I missed it. I left already.
Yeah, I already left.
But texting is just so much more freeing because you could do other things. You could listen to music while you're texting. You can watch a show.
Yes.
But when you're on the phone, you can't do shit, man.
No, you can't. It's fucked up. All right, we got to wrap this up because they close early here.
Oh, do they?
On these days. I'm going to do this quick sponsor tutorial. the sponsors of the podcast, my good friends over at the A-Team Pool Table Services. Did you know I moved pool tables since I was a kid, Brian?
I didn't know that.
Yes, I've been working in pool tables since I was 17 years old. Picked it up because it's part of the family business from my friend Billy, one of my best friends growing up. And this is his business. It's njnypooltableservice.com. They've been doing pool tables forever. His dad has taught us both. Rest in peace, Big Bill. COVID got him, but we still got his back over here with the A-Team. They're the best pool table movers in New Jersey and the entire tri-state area. I can vouch for them because I've worked there. So pool table service, pool table moving service. People don't know you have to take your pool table apart before you move it.
That would be my guess if I had to guess how
Yeah.
it works.
We've been to
you can't just put it on your back.
No, we've been to so many houses where they think they're going to put them on dollies. Like they're going to put the legs on dollies and move it around and carry it. And they end up breaking the pool table legs. And that's where we go and we have to fix it. So we can, that's where the pool table repair comes in. Sometimes we go and there's people's legs are broken and shit. But sometimes people just need to take the table apart while they do their floors. And they put them in another room. And then we'll come back and they do pool table assembly, put it all back together. And then that's a good time to get the table refurbished. You can get that cloth changed. You can get the bumpers redone. Get a nice new cloth. Are you a Jets fan? You want to put a nice Jets logo on there? Call them up. They got that for you. Pool table removal. A lot of people are tired of using pool tables as their laundry table. So they call us. They say, get this shit out of my house. Pool table sales. If you need a fresh new pool table, they got those too. So head over to njnypooltableservice.com. You get a free estimate, and it's a family-owned business. They'll take care of you. And then we have Empire Sewer and Water, New Jersey. They do residential and commercial services. Shitting is part of your daily habit. These people will help fix your shit. All right. If you shit too much and clog everything, you call Empire. They got an emergency service 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Also, it's not just shit, guys. You know, hair clogs, drains too. And I don't know what commercial services you would need to drain. I guess grease. Grease is probably commercial. I don't know too much of the sewer business because I'm not in the sewer business. But I know the sewer gets clogged and then you need help. And you call Empire Sewer and Water NJ.com. Get a free estimate. All those drain issues, they got specialized equipment that goes digging deep with cameras and shit. You know how that this is state of the art shit work, all right? When you have cameras that can go down and see what's going on instead of just guessing. It's not a guessing game with them. All right, so head over to Empire Sewer and Water NJ.com for all your sewer needs.
They have a nice website too.
All right, it is nice. They have merch.
Oh, wow.
You know, a nice little gift shop. You can get some of the apparel. I have a nice T-shirt. This logo is nice. It is a crispy logo. I have little hoodies and stuff. They got onesies for kids too. All right, so you can let people know your kid is the shit. All right. Combat Fitness Club is the last sponsor of the VCast, but their Instagram page is down or something's going on. I hope he didn't get banned. But you can head over to Instagram and go to combat_fitness_club. They're located in Ridgefield Park. It is a boxing fitness studio led by professional boxer and my boy Dane Guerrero Combat Fitness Club. Stop getting slapped around for parking spots. All right. When you go to park, somebody just takes your spot and they chump you out of it and you don't do anything because you're afraid. And that's okay. You should be afraid because you don't have any training. So you need to get training. So you head over to Instagram and you go to combat_fitness_club, or you can go to their spot in Ridgefield Park on Main Street. It's right down the block from Domino's because I cop a pizza whenever I bring my daughter to get her little hands crispy. My daughter hit me with a 3-piece combo the other day. We were playing around. She hit me with a 3-piece and that shit hurt. And I was like, that's because she's been trained by Dane Guerrero to throw punches. Dane Guerrero just made his pro debut, so I like calling him professional boxer Dane Guerrero. So, yeah, head over to Combat Fitness Club. They have those cardio classes. You can get in shape and also not be a bitch anymore. All right. Head over there and tell them I sent you, and they'll give you a discount on your package. All right, that's it for this episode. Thank you to my boy Bryan Villone for hanging out. How do we find you social media?
At Bryan Villone, that's BryanVillone.
Yeah, he spells that shit the real way.
Right
All
way.
you Bryans with the eyes are bitches. All right.
I agree. I back that up 100%.
Back that up 100%. Bryans with eyes are bitches. Yo, you don't want to step to Bryan Villone. Why? Because he spells his fucking name with a Y. That shit is fancy. Yeah, buddy. All right, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I see you when I see you.
Peace.
You're listening to my dad of the Vic Cedeno.